As you know, these days, only Democrats are allowed to accuse their political opponents of stealing elections. Otherwise, you get censored and banned from the big tech social media platforms for undermining our democracy. And many of us had warned that this anti-American censorship would come back to bite the liberals someday, and they shouldn't take society down this Orwellian slippery slope. And now we have a prime example of how their communist-style censorship policies have backfired.
Hey, welcome back. More of former President Trump's lies about the 2020 election will be on full display on Capitol Hill this week. There will be more hearings by the January 6th committee, more presentations of multimedia clips during the public hearings. But YouTube removed one of those videos from the platform this week because the presentation included a clip of one of Trump's lies about 2020. The New York Times captured this screenshot with the video that says this video is private. You can't watch it on YouTube. So why? That's because the platform owned by Google, Alphabet, shifted its election misinfo policy a month after the 2020 election. YouTube announced a blanket ban on content that includes lies about the election without, quote, proper context, regardless of who creates it. Is that the right policy?
That's really too bad. YouTube is now censoring the Democrats. I'm actually shocked that they didn't immediately restore the video and issue an apology because, as you know, most of these takedowns are done automatically by the artificial intelligence system and their content ID software that detects certain clips as soon as they're uploaded, and then if they're not in a context of being strongly condemned, then they consider it violating the policies and take it down. I would also be surprised if the clip isn't restored soon and that this decision gets elevated to Susan Wojcicki, the CEO, because I mean, let's face it, this is quite embarrassing for them. And yes, I've been watching the hearings so that you don't have to, and it's basically just a rerun of a typical night on CNN and MSNBC for the last year and a half. It's just a bunch of hearsay, which actually isn't allowed in criminal trials because hearsay isn't evidence. Hearsay is when somebody else claims that they allegedly heard somebody else say something. And all the hearsay now is being set in stone as if it were fact. Donald Trump said this. The Proud Boys said that. It's all lies. Lies like labeling the Proud Boys a white supremacist organization when, at the time of the mostly peaceful protest, according to Black Lives Matter standards, it was led by an Afro-Cuban American named Enrique.
The committee put Trump at the center of this plot, and they also pointed specifically to these two white supremacist groups who enabled the attack, the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. White supremacist groups.
I mean, what's next? Are they going to blame the Proud Boys for conservatives showing up to school board and city council meetings? Oh wait, what's this? It's the New York Times. Proud Boys regroup, focusing on school boards and town councils. Also over the weekend, Alex Stein, best known for performing his rap songs about how much he loves Dr. Fauci at city council meetings, ran into Congressman Dan Crenshaw.
I Patch McCain. Hey, I Patch McCain. Look at I Patch McCain right here. You're a rhino. You're a globalist. You're a globalist rhino.
It trended on Twitter, made some headlines, and of course, some media outlets are saying that the Proud Boys were behind that too. Crenshaw, if you don't know, is an America Second kind of guy, a rhino, a neocon, the kind of Republican who will probably dress in drag and visit his local library next week to read some books to the children to show how inclusive the Republican Party is. You know what, when we take back the majority in the House and the Senate come November after the midterms, maybe it's time Republicans set up a congressional committee to investigate Black Lives Matter and the Marxist revolution that they've been attempting and the $2 billion worth of damage that they've caused, destroying countless businesses across this entire country. And maybe then will be the time to also have hearings to investigate these George Soros puppet district attorneys who keep letting criminals back out onto the streets or just not even charging them with crimes in the first place. Democrats are in for a rude awakening and they know it. The chickens are coming home to roost. It's going to be time to pay the piper. Pick your analogy. We're going ultra MAGA.
It's bizarre because when it comes to calling out Republicans, you've got these kind of, I don't know, cutesy names being used by Democrats. You know, apparently Democratic polling groups and focus groups spent months coming up with ultra MAGA, which Joe Biden started using, but immediately the Republican Party just borrowed and started selling merch.
Yes, I am selling merch, and I think it's the best political slogan since Make America Great Again. In fact, it might even be better. So order your ultra MAGA shirt from my online store at markdice.com or click the link in the description below. And like all of my designs, it's available on a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check it out.
I will tell you is the president's phrase, and the president it's made those comments himself just last week, as you know.
The ultra MAGA plan.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.